So for part 3, we are going to focus on nose and lips of Bad Bunny. So before we start this tutorial, again my goal is to share this tutorial or portrait art to complete whole world. So share it as much as possible, and today's like goal is again 10. So subscribe, share and comment what you will rate this particular tutorial of nose and lips of Bad Bunny. And if you want to see a real-time sketch of this, I have uploaded on my second channel, which is Shwet Sketches 2.0, and again link is in my description box. Now to start with nose, as we already made outlines of the first tutorial, first of all shade parts of nose using B pencil because of mid-tone shades of nose. Continuously watching details from reference picture make nostrils, and nostrils are basically more darker. Nostrils are generally a little bit more darker, so use 6B or 8B pencil directly. And if you are going to use directly, and if you want to blend it with the other part of skin, if you will use darker pencil as a base there for nostrils, you won't be able to blend it with the background of skin parts. So don't lose patience while making shading, and shading is the most part anything of any sketches of any portraits, or if you are going to make abstract art or anything that contains pencils for shading or anything. Just don't lose patience while making shading. Do good shading and it will help you give more beautiful and realistic sketches. Now generally increase or starting with the nose or shade or blending your nose with the other parts a little bit more tough, and the nose of the Bad Bunny is a little bit more darker on left hand side, lighter on right hand side. So this type of different type of things this is the transition from darker to lower, and it is more important that the transition shouldn't be look like a more dramatic. It will look like a easy thing, that it will look like complete uniform sketch. It is not really uniform, but shadows and highlight will give you a more realistic look as the paper is having or the reference picture that you are having. Shade and blend using a clean blending stump or use a tissue. Tissue will give you a complete uniform thing, but it is not literally more useful for making more shadows or more darker values. So you should use a earbud or blending stumps. Clean your blending stumps, and now again you can change, or you can see the change of lighter tones to darker tones. You should be so smooth, or the transition from lighter to darker tones should be so smooth that it should look like a realistic image, and mid-tones are the perfect way to make this smooth change from darker to lighter or lighter to darker. And generally they are gray in color. Black and white drawings are different and realistic portraits are different, because black and white sketches doesn't have mid-tones and realistic portraits have mid-tones. So mid-tones are the must for any portraits, because it will give you transitions from light to dark or darker to lighter. So you should focus on these things. And if you want to know how to make a nose particularly for anything in any directions, and if you want a tutorial from me, you can comment down. I will make another tutorial for you. Now we are going to focus on lips of Bad Bunny. So as we have made outlines before, and now again we are going to make outlines of lips a little bit more darker, as we have made outlines using 2H pencil or H pencil right in first tutorial. So we are going to use 2B pencil to make it more darker. Now horizontal distance or length and height of both lips is more important, because there are symmetry in any size of lips and every parts of face. Every part is having a little bit more symmetry, and symmetry is different for every person's. So if you are going to use a grid method, you know that two boxes are having lips, right? So don't go away, or don't make a little bit more lighter or more darker parts, or if the lips upper lip is 1 centimeter and lower lip is 1.5 centimeter, make those parts only. Don't apply your own things, like make upper part also 1.5 centimeter. Don't apply your own things, just draw what you see. Now if you will break symmetry, then no matter how good you are with shading or blending or any parts of faces, your sketch will not look good as you want. shade base layer using lighter pencils like H pencils or 2H pencils or 2B pencils or B pencils. These are the lighter ones. So shade base layer, but don't forget that outlines are also visible, because if you will blend every part of base layer of the lips, your outlines will not be visible. So generally increase grades if you see more darker values on lips as your reference picture. And for Bad Bunny, they are not complete dark but not complete white also. They are of mid tones, not complete darker lips, not complete lighter lips. So only use pencils up to 4B or 5B. They are the mid tones essentials pencils, so you should have it. Then use 2B pencil to make straight lines, as if you will focus on your lips also, there are so many layerable lines. They are coming from lower lip to upper lip to lower lip. These are the parts where smaller lines are going on, so you should focus on those lines also. Then use 2B pencil to make those straight lines and blend it with other parts, as the end of both lips and center part of lips are a little bit more darker. If lips are closed, then of course the center of lips will be more darker, and if lips is opened, of course the teeth will be visible and you have to make teeth. So focus on these things also, and what type of shades and what type of highlights going on for making lips. And then again make highlights using mono eraser, highlights for the parts which are exposed to the light, because some part of lips of Bad Bunny is more lighter and some part of Bad Bunny is a little bit more darker, so you should focus where this type of things are going on. And then again, after shading, use a blending stump, which is the smallest one. And again I will tell you that shading is more important than blending. Then shading, how you will shade and how you will apply pressure, it is more important. So focus on these things while making any type of portraits. Now use mono eraser to make highlights, and don't erase the straight lines that you have made for the particular lips, because those parts will give you more realistic look. Now again focus on the parts which are more darker. Make those darker parts with 4B or 5B pencil, and then again blend it with the smallest blending stump, and then again use mono eraser. Using this technique again and again, it requires patience, and you have to make more and more shades, more and more layers to your sketches, and it will give you more realistic look. Making a skin tone is a little bit more easy as compared to making smaller parts like eyes, nose and lips, because these are having so many smaller details, and if you lose smaller details, or hyperrealism or realism is all about giving more and more details. If you will lose any details, your sketch will look not good. So apply these details and your sketch will look good. And again I will recommend that use a mono eraser. Mono eraser is the most useful tool for any artist. If you don't have kneaded eraser, it is a little bit more easy as compared to mono erasers, because mono erasers can give you so many tiniest details also, and it will help you give more highlighted look. So finally we will see you in part 4.
So if you have learned something from this video, subscribe and drop a like, and comment down your question and queries regarding this tutorial. Meanwhile, take care of your loved ones too. Have an artistic day. Tattoos.